Welcome to California in Focus. I'm David Mastio. Today we're talking about plastic bags. Joining me is the Center Square's Kenneth Schrupp, our California reporter. Kenneth, tell me about what's up with plastic bags.
Hey David, California is doing a couple new things here with plastic bags and recycling. First of all, Governor Gavin Newsom just signed a new total and complete ban on plastic shopping bags. There's a 2016 ban that was a partial ban. You could still get plastic bags for 10 cents, and they had to be much thicker and of this reusable kind. The whole idea behind this first ban was that Californians produce a large amount of plastic bag waste every year, and that by making it harder to buy them, people would use less of them. Well, people did use less of them, but it turns out these new bags are so much heavier and thicker that Californians' plastic waste increased 50% from the time the actual ban was voted into effect by voters. So this new bag ban, what it would do is it would stop you from buying any kind of plastic bag starting on January 1st, 2026 when you're checking out the grocery store. The only option will be to pay 10 cents for one of these paper bags, which in many cases will not be enough to stop your heavier bottles or other heavy items, maybe cans, from falling through the bottom of the bag. This means that people are going to have to buy even thicker bags, potentially also at the store, but for a few dollars instead of 10 cents.
Tell me, Kenneth, plastic bags are used in some unusual ways in California. Homeless people have a big use for plastic bags. Tell me about that.
Yes, David. So after the first ban was enacted in 2016, San Diego noted that there was a large hepatitis outbreak after these bags were required to be purchased. And the San Diego County Public Health Officer, Wilma Wooten, told the San Diego Reader that she knows that the plastic bags were being used for defecation, and that once those bags were no longer given out for free at the stores, they had to start including them, or they have been including them, in their homeless hygiene kits. So inadvertently, California's wide outbreak of hepatitis among its homeless population could have been a direct result of its first plastic bag ban. Now, with a complete plastic bag ban, we don't know what's going to happen. It could get even worse. However, the fact that we're having a hepatitis outbreak among homeless, is that really a reflection of the state's homelessness policies, or is it a reflection of a bag ban?
So, Kenneth, there's other news about plastic this week, a lawsuit. Tell me about that.
Right. This lawsuit is about the science of recycling and whether or not recycling plastic is a scam. All of this sort of started back in 2018 when China, which used to recycle 70% of the world's plastic, banned the importation of foreign trash for recycling inputs. They decided they don't want to be the world's garbage can anymore. What ended up happening was this recycling was diverted to other countries that would take the money for the recycling, but they let that trash go into the rivers and oceans. It's worth noting that of all of the plastic entering the world's oceans, 93% comes from 10 rivers in Africa and Asia, and that most microplastics are produced from either washing clothes that are made of synthetic and plastic fabrics or tire bits breaking off during regular driving. So it's not hugely clear whether getting rid of plastic bags in just California is going to make a huge impact here. But let's go back and take a look at this lawsuit in plastics recycling. California Attorney General Rob Bonta filed a lawsuit against ExxonMobil, which is one of the biggest oil companies in the world, the same day Newsom announced that he signed the plastic bag ban. Bonta's lawsuit goes in and says that, well, reality is 5% of U.S. plastic waste is recycled, and the recycling rate never exceeded 9%. And he said ExxonMobil's, quote, advanced recycling program is nothing more than a public relations stunt meant to encourage the public to keep purchasing single-use plastics that are fueling the plastics pollution crisis. It is true, as explained in the complaint, that even the recycling symbol with the little arrows pointed in a circle, it was created by ExxonMobil. And yeah, perhaps a lot of the idea was to shift the responsibility for how to dispose of plastic safely from the creators of plastic products to consumers. But strangely, when Bonta went on to defend his lawsuit, he went on CNBC, the financial TV station, and he went and focused on this, quote, advanced recycling program. Advanced recycling is just this new form of recycling we do where we take plastics and we burn it pretty much. And in the process of burning, we generate energy. A lot of it is converted into jet fuel and other petroleum byproducts, because at the basis of it, plastic is just, oil. And about 8% becomes plastic again. So Banta went on to CNBC to complain about this fact. And, the host quickly retorted, okay, well, advanced recycling sounds better than nothing. It's better than going into a landfill, going to the oceans. And Banta responded by complaining about, it's not good that we're turning plastic into jet fuel that is later emitted into the air. To which the CNBC reporter said, so your point is we shouldn't have jet fuel. And then Banta was asked if he flew to the interview, to which he said he did. It's a whole mess. I mean, I think from this lawsuit, we see that plastics recycling is not as effective or widespread as we thought. There just aren't a lot of places to take it. A lot of these recyclers lose money, except perhaps maybe the ones that do pyrolysis. I haven't looked at the financials myself. And that as soon as China stopped taking the world's plastic, it became A, less economical to recycle, and B, a lot of the recycling that we were doing was actually false. It just ended up in the oceans because these other countries just let it get thrown away and took the money for recycling. I mean, also though, we learned, one of the things that we learned was purchases of plastic liner bags for trash cans increased at about the same rate that the reduction in plastic bags used occurred in California after the first ban, because most of these plastic bags that people were getting free, they don't just throw them away. If it's a clean bag, people use them again as a trash liner. So it ended up not saving really any plastic at all, because these were all already getting a second life as a trash liner. People were reusing them. So now they had to go out and buy new bags.
Kenneth, thanks for joining us today. Listeners can keep up with this story and more at thecentersquare.com.